Hi, welcome to another video of the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. So I'm not doing a video where I'm driving. I'm taking my kids to school in the morning because I just decided I'm just going to walk into school. But this video is going to start off where I'm going to pick up my son from school, right? And as I'm walking, uh, to go pick him up, I saw a fire truck turn onto his block. And then the SUV, the fire truck, not fire truck, but the FDNY SUV, that I guess belonged to that fire department. And so at that point, I was like, okay. So I kept walking. Then I saw the SUV that belonged to the fire department reverse back out. And so I'm thinking, well, they're going to be fire trucks reversing back out, right? So let me play the video and I'll narrate it as I go along. Okay, so turn the corner and I see 3 fire trucks parked up next to my son's school. And let me pause this. So, as far as my targeting is concerned, the fire trucks were used to target me a lot early on in my targeting, when I first realized that something was happening to me, something was being done to me. Whenever I would walk out of my apartment building, there would be a fire truck passing by at the exact same moment, and I was on my way to work at that time. And I would take the train, and I would get out of the train station, and there was a fire truck, or fire trucks, again passing by. Okay? Went to work, went to lunch. Now there was a firehouse right next to my job. The building was pretty big, and you could exit on both sides of the building, right? And so there was a fire department firehouse on one of the streets, one of the blocks. And so I would leave from work to go to lunch. There goes the fire truck passing by, or they're either leaving the firehouse or coming back in the firehouse. Okay. Went to lunch. My lunch is usually like a half an hour to 45 minutes. Came back from lunch. There goes the fire trucks again. Okay. Finished my day at work. Left the job to go to the train station to go home. There goes the fire trucks. Okay, sirens railing, making a whole lot of noise. Okay, so I get on the train, got to my stop, get out of the train station, walking home. There goes the fire trucks again. Now this went on for a couple of years. Now can you imagine, okay, experiencing that every single day for years, right, with the noise and everything. And then on top of that, when I'm in the house in the middle of the night, fire trucks, sirens from police vehicles and ambulances. Wake up in the morning, the same thing, and it repeats itself day after day. So what they're doing here is a rehash of an old tactic that they used to do to me a lot. Not to say that they don't do it. It's less frequent now, but it used to be done a lot. So I would, let's say, if I go out on a date to a restaurant, as soon as we got to the restaurant, there would be a fire truck parked outside the restaurant. I remember one night, I went on a date, and we were taking the train home, and my date had to pee. So we got out of the train station. This was on Broadway. I forgot the name of the restaurant, but because she had to go really bad, so we got out of the train and we went to a restaurant so she can use the bathroom. And parked up in front of that restaurant were 2 fire trucks. Right? So if that didn't strike me as odd, then I was oblivious, and I wasn't oblivious to what was happening to me. Okay? So went to pick up my son yesterday. Fire trucks parked up next to the school. 3 of them. As the firemen saw me coming and they realized that I had my phone and I was actually recording, you're going to see how because they're standing on the sidewalk, and as I approach and they see the camera, this one starts walking back. These 2 started walking, but because I stopped, they stopped. Now when I continue to walk, now they leave to get into their fire truck. Okay? So this is what they would do to me a lot. Okay? So if they're on a block that I'm going to and I approach and they see I have my phone up recording, they will go into their vehicle. Right? Now, as you see before, when I had stopped, they were still standing there. Okay? Let's go back. Alright, so this guy, because I'm close to him, he didn't want to be recognized, so he goes back. And then these 2, let me pause this. These 2 right here, when I stopped, they were still standing there. But when they see me now walking towards them, they stop, see me walking, now they leave. Okay? Because they don't want to be put on camera to be identified. These people wasting taxpayers' money to participate in this type of harassment and psychological torture. And so when they do stuff like that, yeah, I record them because they need to be exposed. And then these 2 firefighters right here, they're just standing there, hanging out. Now, I was going to approach them, but then my son had came out of the school and so it was, time for me to go. Okay? But this is what they do. There is no emergency. Okay? There is no emergency. Someone might have called them who are participating in this to make it look like they're there legitimately, but they're not there legitimately. As you can see, they do these things when they know that I'm going to pick up my son, or if I'm going somewhere, they will be on that street, on that block, and then when I approach, they will either drive off, or they will do the little street theater of coming out of a building, standing around, but it is not legitimate what they're doing or why they're there. Okay? And so at this point, my son came out of school because I was about to walk over there. That's my son right there. So we turned around and walked back, and then let's get to this video. All right, let me pause this here. So, as we were walking back, we have to go pick up his sister, and then again, this is what they do. So, it's the synchronization. As soon as I reach the corner, the police car driving by slowly, making the turn. And this happened right after, like I said, my son came out and we started walking back. And I should have kept recording, but I just thought that was it. And then when I started hearing the sirens, because immediately after I started walking back, I started hearing the sirens from the police vehicle. And I took my phone out as I was reaching the corner, because I said to myself, I know they're going to be coming this way. So I took my phone out and then I began recording, and that's what you see here, police vehicle. Okay? And so yesterday, which was Halloween, we got back inside the house and we waited for the kids' mom to get home so we can take them trick-or-treating. And of course, because they know I'm taking my kids trick-or-treating, they're going to be having, the perps and those trick-or-treaters, including teenagers, kids, participating in my targeting along with their parents. And, we went to some stores and we crossed the street to go back the other direction. And my the kid's mother, I noticed that, even though we're walking the kids to trick or treating, and we're walking the kids taking them to the store, but she keep looking at her phone all the time and stuff like that. As we're walking, not paying attention, I had to constantly remind her to hold my daughter's hand because I was walking. I had my cane. Whenever I have to do any type of long walking, I use a cane. And so, I had to constantly remind her, hey, hold other's hand. You can't, it's nighttime, a lot of people on the street, you can't just be on your phone and not pay attention, okay? So anyway, across the street, and she says to me, look at this picture. So, she showed me a picture of one of her friends in an orange jumpsuit, and she thought it was so funny because she was one of the characters from Orange is the New Black. And I didn't really find that particular funny. It's a costume, But she found it hilarious, what have you. So anyway, we're walking back. We got to Mini Mart, and I had opened the door because there were some kids who were going in. And this teenager walking towards me, going into the Mini Mart, a young teenage girl. And she's staring at me. She's like staring at me. She's like, and it's something that they do, and it's called staring drills, where they'll basically stare at you as they're walking towards you. So she's like staring at me all in my face, and I ain't thinking anything of it. I'm just like, because I know already it's part of the targeting. Anyway, so the kids came out of the Mini Mart, and we're walking, and we're going on our way home. And we got in the house, and she's like, let's watch Transylvania, Now, mind you, it's minutes to 8 at night. The kids have school in the morning. They have to eat, take a bath, And I always try to get the kids in bed on time, okay? Because the one thing about her is that when the kids are up and they're bothering her, she's like, you guys should be in bed by 9 o'clock. You guys should be in bed already. But if they're bothering me, she doesn't say anything, right? So she, so that's why I knew when she said, let's watch the movie Transylvania, something was up. So I was like, all right, okay, I'll entertain the idea. Put the movie on. And there's a part in the movie, and Transylvania is an animated film, for kids. So there's a part in the movie where, you got the humans a human guy who walks into a hotel that have monsters in it. And Count Dracula, he's like going through his stuff, and he found his cell phone. And he goes, what is this? What is this? Some type of mind control device? Are you trying to mind control me? Or are you trying to read my mind? And during that exchange, I'm looking at her, and she does this. As that scene played out. And I was like, okay, I'm not surprised because they've done this before, using movies to trigger some type of response from me, right? Or to send me some sort of subliminal message. And, I'm going to give you an example of the first time they used that to trigger something in me. So early on, again, in my targeting, my nephew and his girlfriend came over. And his girlfriend was like, hey, Nigel, do you have that movie Daylight? And I was like, Daylight? He's like, yeah, with Sylvester Stallone. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I have that on DVD. So she's like, let's watch it. So the movie Daylight is about, Sylvester Stallone, he stars as a correction officer, and they got trapped in the Holland Tunnel, okay? And so he's trapped with inmates wearing orange jumpsuits. And so after we finished watching the movie, this was at night. The next day, got up, get ready to go to work. Stepped out of my apartment building, and in the corner they had a perp who was wearing an orange shirt or jacket, I can't remember. And from that day forward, the color orange was integrated and introduced into my targeting. That is what is called neurolinguistic programming, dark NLP, to associate that color, particularly the circumstances in which the movie how it played out in terms of, Arnold Schwarzenegger with the inmates all wearing orange jumpsuits. And so the use of triggers and anchors, okay? And that's one of the ways in how they use dark NLP, right? To psychologically send you subliminal message, or to psychologically create triggers and anchors, okay? So that was when, like I said, when they started using the color orange as part of my targeting, it was right after that. Okay, so that's how they do it. So, but anyway, so I started doing the same thing back to her, okay? And then she just got really quiet. She just got really quiet, and she took out her phone, and she started looking at her phone. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, giving her hand signals and stuff like that. The same type of hand signals they gave me, I was giving it back to her. And then she just got up, and she left, and she went in her room. Okay? Now, when things like that happen, the way how she reacted, the way how I look at her response, and I'm like, this woman knows exactly what she's doing. Okay? This isn't the mind control. This is not us being microwave. This is her consciously taking part of targeting me. Okay? So, just wanted to put that out there. They didn't want me to put it out there. They'll send me all these subliminal message about, not doing my videos, stuff like that. But again, in a coercive persuasion program, they will do anything to shut you up. One of the things that they don't want is for you to TI the target of this of the victim of this psychological program to expose what it is that they're doing. And you can hear the sirens. Okay, you can, as I'm doing this video, you can hear the sirens because they know I'm doing the recording. Okay, so they try to use that as a threat, right? A threat against me. But I'll continue to do my videos. They can keep doing their threats. I don't give a shit. I'm going to expose them for what they're doing.